Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vana Yashodanandana Bhajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Vanacha Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtatarashata Shishimad A.C. Bhakti Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtatarashata Shishimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sakaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadguru Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakund Radha Kundi Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadip Dham Ki Jai Mathura Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Tulasi Devi Ki Jai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the Sama devotees. All glories to the Sama devotees. All glories to the Sama devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Namo Vishnupada Krishna Prishtapadale Shri. Namaste. Om Namo Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, 27. From the word for word translation. Paritaha Vatsapahi Vatsan Charayan Vyaharat Vibhu Yamuna Upavane Kujat Dvija Sankulita Angripe Parito Vatspar Vatsamsh Charayan Yaharad Vibhu Yamuna Pavane Kujad Dvija Sankul Tangripe Parito Vatsapar Vatsamsh Charayan Yaharad Vibhu Yamuna Pavane Kujad Dvija Sankulitangripe Parito Vatsapar Vatsamsh Charayan Yaharad Vibhu Yamuna Pavane Kujad Dvija Sankulitangripe
Parito Vatsaparvatsam
Parito Vatsaparvatsam
Charayan Vyaharat Vibhu
Charayan Vyaharat Vibhu
Yamuno Pavane Kuja
Yamuno Pavane
Bija Sankulitang Gripe
Dvija Sankulitangripe
Parito Vatsaparvatsam
Parito Vatsaparvatsam
Charayan Vyaharat Vibhu
Charayan Vyaharat Vibhu
Yamuno Pavane Kujad
Yamuno Pavane Kujad
Dvija Sankulitang Gripe
Dvija Sankulitangripe
Parito Vatsaparvatsam
Parito Vatsaparvatsam
Charayan Vyaharat Vibhu
Charayan Vyaharat Vibhu
Yamuno Pavane Kujad
Yamuno Pavane Kujad
Dvija Sankulitang Gripe
Dvija Sankulitang
Parito Vatsaparvatsam
Parito Vatsaparvatsam
Charayan Vidhara Vibhu
Charayan Vyaharat Vibhu
Yamuno Pavane Kunja
Yamuno Pavane Kujad
Dvija Sankalita Gripe
Dvija Sankulitangripe
Parito Vatsaparvatsam
Parito Vatsaparvatsam
Charayan Vayahar Vibhu
Charayan Vyaharat Vibhu
Yamu Pavane Kujad
Yamuno Pavane Kujad
Dvija Sankulitan Gripe
Dvija Sankulitangripe Paritaha surrounded by Vatsapari cowherd boys Vatsan cows Charayan herding tending Vyaharat enjoyed by traveling Vibhu the Almighty Yamuna the Yamuna river Upavane gardens on the shore Kujat vibrated by the voice Dvija twice-born birds, Sankulita, densely situated, Angripe, in the trees. In his childhood, the Almighty Lord was surrounded by cowherd boys and calves, and thus he traveled on the shore of the Yamuna River, through gardens densely covered with trees and filled with vibrant trees. Purport. Nanda Maharaj was a landholder for King Kamsa. By caste, he was a member of the mercantile and agricultural community. He maintained thousands of cows. It was the duty of the Vaishyas to protection to the cows, just as the Kshatriyas are to give protection to the human beings. Because the Lord was a child, he was put in charge of the cows with his cowherd boyfriends. These cowherd boys were great rishis and yogis in their previous births, and after many such pious births, they gained the association of the Lord and could play with him on equal terms. Such cowherd boys never cared to know who Krishna was, but they played with him as a most intimate and lovable friend. They were so fond of the Lord that at night they would only think of the next morning when they would be able to meet the Lord and go together to the forests for cowherding. The forests on the shore of the Yamuna are all beautiful gardens full of trees of mango, jackfruit, apples, guava, oranges, grapes, berries, palm fruit, and so many other plants and fragrant flowers. And because the forest was on the bank of the Yamuna, naturally there were ducks, cranes, and peacocks on the branches of the trees. All these trees and birds and beasts were pious living entities born in the transcendental abode of Vrindavan, just to give pleasure to the Lord and his eternal associates, the cowherd boys. While playing like a small child with his associates, the Lord killed many demons, including Aghasura, Bakasura, Pralambhasura, and Gardabhasura. Although he appeared at Vrindavan just as a boy, he was actually like the covered flames of a fire. A small particle of fire can kindle a great fire with fuel. So the Lord killed all these great demons, beginning from his babyhood in the house of Nanda Maharaj. The land of Vrindavan, the Lord's childhood playground, still remains today, and anyone who visits these places enjoys the same transcendental bliss, although the Lord is not physically visible to our imperfect eyes. Lord Chaitanya recommended this land of the Lord as identical with the Lord and therefore worshipable by the devotees. This instruction is taken up especially by the followers of Lord Chaitanya, known as the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And because the land is identical with the Lord, devotees like Uddhava and Vidura visited these places 5,000 years ago in order to have direct contact with the Lord, visible or not visible. Thousands of devotees of the Lord are still wandering in these sacred places of Vrindavan, and all of them are preparing themselves to go back home, back to Godhead. Parito vatsapar vatsam charayan viharad vibhu yamuno pavane kujad dvija sankul kulitangripe. Translation: in his childhood, the Almighty Lord was surrounded by cowherd boys and calves, and thus he traveled on the shore of the Yamuna River, through gardens densely covered with trees and filled with vibrations of chirping birds. So here we have a description. Prabhupada is describing how Nanda Maharaj was a landholder. So he was part of the Vaishya community, and he was known as the Maharaj, or the king of Vraj, in one sense, or he was the king of the cowherd men, I should say. And there was also Vrishabhanu, King Vrishabhanu. So, but Nanda Maharaj was famous for being a very respected person within the community, and he had many thousands of cows, which are all, specifically, they had all taken their birth to give Krishna pleasure, which is amazing. So what's interesting when we hear the Bhagavatam, like in this purport, Prabhupada is describing Gokula Vrindavan. He's mentioning how the Lord took his transcendental pastimes on this, in Bharata Bhumi, or on this earth planet. In the spiritual world, there are also persons there, eternally liberated souls, and who are situated in different rasas with Krishna. But when we hear Prabhupada say that these boys used to be yogis and mystics, rishis, in their previous births, then we can understand they had been practicing sadhana to achieve the position so glorious and befitting of the, his pure devotees. So they were working towards that through their positions. So there's actually a verse which Prabhupada referenced here, Krita Punya Punja, I think it's called, which means that there's heaps of credit that they have accumulated by practicing their sadhana, their vidhi bhakti. So I was reading how in ISKCON there's a very important purport in the 4th canto of Bhagavatam, and it states how, or not specifically in ISKCON, but it's been referenced in the ISKCON Constitution, or the draft for the ISKCON Constitution. And I should say it's a draft, but it's referenced there that within ISKCON, or within the community, we reference this verse to understand how to prosecute our worship of the deity. And so it says that the Lord, in the deity form, is to be worshipped as Lakshmi Narayan. And actually, even if there's Radha Krishna within the temple, the mood of worship is in the mood of Lakshmi Narayan worship, which is with awe and reverence, that this is my Lord here. And we follow the procedures, which 64 rules, 64 offenses to be avoided in the prosecution of that devotional service. And this is really important for us because we're not qualified to render the service on the Raga platform. And until we accumulate heaps and heaps of credits, how can we expect to treat the Lord as a best friend? So this is really important for us. If we desire to achieve the position as one of the intimate devotees of the Lord, who is so exalted that he's given the Yogamaya blessing to forget his godhood, to really have a sweet relationship, to really feel that it's very close, it's very intimate. Just like we have some friend. how many exchanges, how much development was there in that relationship? You know, how much attached we become to our associates on this material platform. Those devotees who are in that raga nuga bhakti, they're practicing that devotion out of spontaneous affection for Krishna, a spontaneous devotional service. Their intimacy is unlimitedly more than somebody who's practicing to recognize Krishna is God. This is my Lord. I'm a fallen soul. I have to serve Him with everything that I have, as in obedience and surrender. Right? But this isn't how the cowherd boys are thinking. They're thinking, I want to play with Krishna. I'm gonna play some joke on him, or I'm gonna say some joke to him, or I'm gonna massage his legs, or I'm gonna see him in the forest playing with the birds and playing his flute. That's their platform. So what the point I was trying to make is deserve, then desire. Deserve, then desire. So Prabhupada is teaching us how we can become deserving of the position of Krishna's eternal associates. Even though we took a fallen birth and we willingly turned our back on Krishna, then and even in this very lifetime, in so many lifetimes. You know, in spite of that, what is it? There's a wonderful verse in the Bhagavatam which states, Kirata, Hundira, Andhra, Pulinda, all these different fallen classes, what to speak of those even below there, they can be considered, they can be made completely perfect by surrender and service unto the devotee of the Lord. And Shukadev Goswami says, I offer my obeisances to the Lord because of that. How amazing is my Lord that by surrender and service to your devotee, all of these fallen people can become perfect. So this pure devotee, he always brings an unlimited glory to the Lord. That's his business. That's his business. So what's amazing is that Prabhupada is giving the perfect system. The perfect system. How we can actually achieve, how we can deserve to enter into the Lord's pastimes. And what's amazing is that just as these cowherd boys used to be rishis and mystics and yogis, Prabhupada describes that if we execute our devotional service with utmost enthusiasm according to the rules and regulations in this birth, we will take our next birth on a planet in Krishna's Leela. Just like these cowherd boys. They qualified themselves by sadhana, determination, on the Vaidhi path, according to the strategy, according to the system. Then they get to learn how to just love Krishna without rules, no boundaries. Krishna doesn't ever check their attraction for him. It's not like if they don't go to temple and they just say certain prayers and they do certain rituals, they forget about Krishna and do sense gratification. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. They're so purified by their sadhana that Krishna has blessed them. Now you come and associate with me directly, and I will never let you forget me. So at night, what are they doing? They're thinking, Krishna, 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 Krishna. One time Prabhupada was in New York City and Brahmananda tells a memory how Prabhupada was saying, the coward boys, they do not know that Krishna is God. Actually, it was one Mataji was telling about how this happened, and he was saying, they are just thinking, Krishna, 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 Krishna. And he went on and on and on. He was with Krishna. He was in those leelas. He was witnessing them. And that's why they used to say, Brahmananda says that they used to say that Prabhupada had Krishna tattooed behind his eyelids. Yeah, it's kind of a neophyte thing to say. But it showed that they were appreciating how much Prabhupada was addicted to Krishna. How much affection he had for Krishna. And so Prabhupada was in trance. What's amazing about Krishna's Leela is that a pure devotee always appreciates it, no matter what his personal rasa is. No matter what his personal rasa is, he appreciates the rasa of other devotees. This is like we were hearing, the Srimad Bhagavad Brihad Bhagavatamrita, how all these devotees have their own individual rasas with Krishna. Servitude, reverence, friendship, parental affection, and then ultimately conjugal. But they're glorifying all the other devotees, and they're relishing in how Krishna is getting pleasure from other people. This is very interesting. This isn't a neophyte consciousness. Look at all these bogus. They don't know how to serve Krishna. No, that's not how they do it. They think, my gosh, look at this devotee. When will I do something for Krishna? I'm just a loser. When will I actually feel something for Krishna? So this is amazing. That, so whatever Prabhupada, whatever his status is, he was in trance and he was meditating on the cowherd boy's affection for Krishna, waiting to play with him in the morning time. You ever had that happen to you? You had a friend, and you and your friend would do activities, just captured your mind. Just completely captured your whole consciousness. There used to be some video games, and I would sit with my friend and play those games, and it would completely capture my mind. Couldn't stop thinking about it all day long. I was making plans within this reality, but it was all based on my relationship with him. What's interesting is that he had the computer, so we can see how contaminated it is. Because if somebody else had the computer, forget him. I got my sense gratification to do. Right? But that's not like it is for Krishna. Wow, they are so attached to Krishna. So completely attached to Krishna. And their minds are absorbed in playing with Krishna in the forest. And how fortunate they are. How glorified. How amazing. So, what's amazing about Prabhupada's Srimad Bhagavatam is that we are getting slices of the spiritual world as it is in huge heaping loads, huge slices. And on the other side, Prabhupada is also giving the system on how to become qualified to actually enjoy in that Leela yourself one day. What's amazing is that we're learning how to appreciate Krishna's devotees, those who actually love him, those who actually serve him. Let's learn to appreciate them. Let's worship them. This is actually what this prayer, Nama Sankirtan. The whole thing is just worshiping the devotees. Wherever the devotees are, I'll live with them birth after birth. I don't care what form of life the acharyas pray. I can be a dog, I can be a worm, I don't care. As long as I can engage in your devotional service, I want to be wherever I can be. I don't care. And then they say, well, what is devotional service without the association of devotees? Prabhupada describes that it's a phantasmagoria. You know? It's an illusion. It's not practical. Because it's not reality. Devotional service is executed in the association. Because Krishna never gets served alone. If you see pictures of Krishna, there's a few boys and they're picking out articles to dress Krishna. How fortunate. These boys are associates of Yashoda Mataji, Yashoda Mai. And she engages them to pick nice dressing for Krishna. And Krishna is so kind that he's letting them play with him like that. So if Yashoda says, no, this is my duty. This is what I do. This is my solo time. You know, but it's not like that. And the gopis, they are actually serving Krishna personally, intimately. They walk with him. They talk with him. You know? But the gopis are in the mood. Let me bring other people to be with Krishna, to serve Krishna. Their pleasure is magnified. And one time, I heard from a very nice devotee, and he mentioned, there's this verse at the end of the Tulsi Puja, right? And it says, Shri Radha Govinda Preme Sada, what is it? Shri Radha Govinda Preme Sada Janabasi, which means, let me swim in the ocean of prema for Radha and Krishna. And this devotee, he's a preacher, and he was describing, this means preaching. He said, this means getting people to serve Krishna. That's what it means to swim in the ocean of their love. You know? We love them so much that we want to actually facilitate Radha's service to Krishna. That's our whole business. That's our whole business, because she's the queen of bhakti. She's the one who knows how to serve Krishna. So every devotee, their business is actually to assist her in one sense. You know? So this means that we are helping her. What is her service? Her service is getting everybody to serve Krishna. So we swim in that ocean of their love for each other through the Sankirtan movement. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is the personality. He is the personification of the love of Sri Radha and Krishna. He himself is none other than Radha and Krishna. So by performance of this Sankirtan Yajna, right, by engagement in this Sankirtan mission, we are swimming in the highest Madhur. This is the highest rasa. We're glorifying Radha's love for Krishna and Krishna's love for Radharani. And it looks like we're just sadhakas. And we are. And there's nothing wrong with that. If we, this birth, were qualified for higher and higher statuses, okay. Maybe we would have taken our birth somewhere else. Maybe in Krishna's Leela. But this time, we're in this wonderful moment where our program is simple. Chant Hare Krishna with enthusiasm and dedication. Serve the spiritual master with everything we have. No reservations. You know? Spread the movement anywhere and everywhere to everybody we meet. You know? Share transcendental knowledge, which is like bombs to go off in every home and every mind, which can very easily completely change the direction of any conditioned soul they come in contact with. Very easily. So, that's our simple program. Of course, it also includes worship of the deity. And what is that deity worship? It is in the Pancharatrika Vidhi. What is it? It's according to the rules and regulations. It's according to the system which Narada Muni has set up so that one can be qualified to serve Krishna on the Raga platform or the Raga platform eventually. So we're very fortunate because we can just take shelter. We don't have to go above our pay grade or speculate or go into different things. We can stay simple and we'll stay safe. Whatever Prabhupada has described, whatever he has prescribed, whatever he has, mentioned, let's try to understand that. Why and how? Why did he say it like that? Why is it important? What did he say? What does it mean? This is a simple program which will take lifetimes. If we really wanted to understand why Prabhupada has explained what he's explained or what he's actually even saying in his books and his purports, we'd go on forever. Because it's infinite. But what's amazing is you don't lose any rasa. I promise you, you won't lose any rasa, any bhava, any emotions for Krishna. You don't get checked. You don't get checked. Right? But it is important that we understand Prabhupada's mood was that we are meant to become completely faithful to Krishna and Guru. There's a verse which states that if you have implicit faith in Guru and Krishna, then automatically all the imports of the Vedas are automatically revealed to you. And we hear this prayer so many times, again and again, and it is a crown jewel of our morning program. It is of course, you can look at every single line, every single word of Sanskrit as a crown jewel of the morning program. But for me, this is very special phrase. Shri Guru Charane Rati. Ese Uttama Gati. Right? Jai Prasade. What is it? Jai Prasade Pure Sarva Asha. Sarva Asha. All my desires. All my desires. All my desires. All I do is desire. I'm completely filled with desires. All of them can be satisfied by the mercy which is attained by attachment to the Guru's lotus feet. All of them? I don't have to work individually for all my unlimited desires? All of my desires? Wow. You see what we're talking about? This is like a cheat code. This is a secret. And Prabhupada doesn't shy away. He says, the secret of success in preaching is belief or faith in the words of the spiritual master. Narottam Das Thakur said that. Narottam Das Thakur said that. That perfection of life or attainment of all the desires can be achieved by attachment for the lotus feet. What does that phrase mean? Attachment for the lotus feet means I want to execute his orders. I want to satisfy his desires. If I make my goal to satisfy somebody who's completely dedicated for Krishna's service, all of my desires will be fulfilled. So we hear about these wonderful pastimes of Krishna and the birds. Dvija. Dvija means twice born. So the word for a Brahmana is also Dvija. Dvija. So there's that word ja. We usually hear that related to Janma, right? Janame Janame Hoy Eya Abhilash. Janma, right? Janmashtami. And then we also hear Dvi. So this Dvi is like two, right? Dvija. So this means twice born. So the twice born, an egg is popped out from the bird, and then it's incubated, and then the birdie comes out. So the bird is also twice born. And the Brahmana is twice born by initiation. The father is the spiritual master, and the mother is the Vedas. The Vedas become the mother for the Brahmana. The books. Books are the basis. You know? So we're just little babies. Prabhupada's trying to, rise us up. And we have to take nourishment from the mother. Therefore, we have to study. We really have to get into these books and apply them to our lives. What's amazing about these books is if you even apply a tiny sentence, you get so much benefit. So what's amazing about Prabhupada's books is that all the system has been laid out. And what's amazing about Prabhupada's temples is that his books are in action. And we try our best to harmonize more and more and more and more and more with what Prabhupada has presented. And we understand why he's presented it. Why it's my prescription. Why my prescription? Why is my prescription surrendered to the spiritual master? Okay, that's discussed. Actually, that's discussed all over the Vedas. Veda Gai Jahara Charito, right? In the Vedas, the glories of the Charito, the qualities, the characteristics of the Guru are sung. You can find Krishna talking about Guru Tattva. You can find him talking about it in the Bhagavatam and also in the Gita. You can talk about so many devotees speaking about Guru. So there's so many angles to understand about that. And it is the secret to success. Of course, personally, I have a long way to go. So I'm just trying to speak these things because I want to be there with Krishna. I want to be playing with the fruit gardens and with the cows and with the birds. Who wouldn't want to be there? That's paradise. That's paradise. Who wouldn't want to be there? So I'm thinking, how do I get there? Oh, it's simplified by taking the instructions of somebody who knows the way. So then for a simple person like me, I'm just thinking, okay, let's just beg Krishna, please let me stop speculating. I don't want to speculate anymore. I just want to serve your devotee. I want to beg like that. I beg to beg like that, for real, because that's how the acharyas beg. Gurudev, so amazing song. Hey Vaishnav Thakur, right? Amazing songs from the acharyas, begging Krishna and the spiritual master to let them be a humble servant. So, thank you very much, devotees. Please bless me so I can try to make some progress in this way. And thank you for tolerating me. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.